The clock is ticking on a decision that could define the Eagles' future for the next several decades, my friend. An era with more than 70 years of history, open-air games, bitter winter wind, rain, snow, the brutal Philadelphia cold that has always been part of this franchise's identity may be coming to an end. A decision that Jeffrey Lurie will need to make in the coming years is going to permanently change how the Eagles play and where the Eagles play. Other NFL franchises have already made their choices. The market is moving in a clear direction, and Philadelphia cannot stand still while the rest of the league moves forward. Why is the deadline approaching faster than most fans realize? What is at stake in this choice? And what does all of this mean for the future of the Eagles as a franchise? I'm going to walk you through why the open-air stadium era in Philadelphia may be coming to an end, and what Jeffrey Lurie will need to decide in the coming years to ensure the Eagles remain one of the most relevant franchises not just in the NFL, but in American sports as a whole. But first, if you are a die-hard Eagles fan, hit that like button and subscribe right now, because this is one of the most important stories this franchise will live through off the field in the next decade. The story starts with a number every Eagles fan needs to have in the back of their mind: 2032. That is when the lease on Lincoln Financial Field expires, and that is only 6 years away. Lincoln Financial Field opened its doors in 2003, is just over 20 years old, and has already reached the point where the franchise needs to make a clear decision about its future. The Eagles could choose to renew the lease and eventually renovate their current home. But what is happening across the rest of the NFL points strongly in a different direction. The league is in the middle of a stadium transformation, and the vast majority of new or planned projects share one defining feature: a retractable roof or covered structure. And Jeffrey Lurie himself, owner and CEO of the Eagles, has already admitted that, while he likes Lincoln Financial Field, he appears to be leaning toward a new stadium with a retractable roof. The question is no longer whether the Eagles will eventually leave Lincoln Financial Field. The question is, what comes next? To understand why the covered stadium trend is so powerful, you just need to look at what is happening across the country. The Tennessee Titans are getting a brand new domed stadium in Nashville. The Jacksonville Jaguars are moving forward with their retractable roof project, called the Stadium of the Future. The Cleveland Browns, a franchise with decades of tradition playing outdoors in a climate just as harsh as Philadelphia's, decided to go the dome route. The Washington Commanders are doing the same after their entire franchise history playing in open-air venues. The Chicago Bears are still finalizing their location, but the direction is already clear. And the Kansas City Chiefs are expected to reveal renderings of a new domed stadium later in 2026. The only notable outlier in this trend is the new Buffalo Bills Stadium, which keeps the field outdoors but covers the fans, and even that represents a concession to the weather. The message the NFL is sending is unmistakable. The future of the major professional football stadium is covered. And why does this trend exist? Because a modern NFL stadium is no longer just a football stadium. It is a multi-use entertainment hub capable of hosting events throughout the entire year, regardless of the weather outside. The Eagles have ambitious goals for their next home. Jeffrey Lurie wants to host a Super Bowl in Philadelphia, wants the NCAA Men's Basketball Final Four, and wants to attract the biggest events in American sports and entertainment. And here is the reality: none of that happens with an open-air stadium. The NFL does not award Super Bowls to cold-weather cities with uncovered stadiums. The rare recent exceptions involving outdoor Super Bowls in cold climates were exactly that, exceptions, and controversial ones at that. The NCAA Final Four also gravitates toward enclosed venues to guarantee the controlled experience the tournament requires. And events like WrestleMania, which the Eagles have hosted at Lincoln Financial Field in the past, demand a covered structure to operate at the production level the WWE requires. Without a roof, Philadelphia simply falls out of line when the biggest events are being distributed. And there is more. The FIFA World Cup is happening in Philadelphia right now, in 2026, for the first time in the city's history. Philadelphia is presenting itself to the entire world at this moment. Tourists, cameras, global attention turned toward the city. This exposure is showcasing Philadelphia's potential as an international sports destination. But if Lincoln Financial Field keeps aging without a worthy replacement, the chances of Philadelphia landing events of this scale in the future shrink considerably. A new, modern, covered stadium would be the natural next step to cement the city as a permanent stage for the biggest sporting events on the planet. The question now is, where in Philadelphia would a stadium of that size fit? And this is the dilemma that makes the decision even more complicated. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro has already publicly stated that the Eagles will be staying in Philadelphia. But where exactly within the city? The current sports complex in South Philadelphia, where Lincoln Financial Field sits, still has space for a new stadium. The Navy Yard, also in the southern part of the city, is another area that could accommodate a project of this scale. But Philadelphia is an old city with limited urban space, and any decision involving land of that magnitude will inevitably raise questions of logistics, cost, and community impact. And there is a detail that most fans are not yet factoring in: the future of the Jefferson Health Training Complex, the Eagles' practice facility, which opened in 2001 and is now one of the oldest in the entire NFL. The complex is already outdated and would need significant expansion regardless. The ideal vision would be a new stadium integrated with a new state-of-the-art training facility, creating a complete Eagles campus, similar to what other franchises have already done to strengthen not just daily operations, but also their appeal for free agency and the draft. Here is the bottom line. The decision Jeffrey Lurie is about to make involves far more than architecture or geography. It involves the franchise's identity. The Eagles have always played outdoors. Franklin Field, Veterans Stadium, Lincoln Financial Field, each of these places holds memories that are permanently carved into the minds of Philadelphia fans. The snow game of 1948, the roar of the crowd at the Vet, the electric atmosphere at Lincoln Financial Field on playoff nights. There is something raw and authentic about professional football played under a real open sky, with real wind and real cold in a northeastern American city. A retractable roof stadium brings convenience, versatility, and bigger revenue streams, but it also inevitably carries a sense of manufactured atmosphere that some more traditional fans may never fully accept. Lurie will have to weigh tradition against pragmatism, and given the direction the rest of the league is heading, pragmatism appears to be winning that argument all across the NFL. The Eagles will have a clearer picture of their plans within a year or two, but the 2032 deadline is approaching faster than it looks. Decisions of this magnitude, financing, design, location, government approvals, construction, take years to move from concept to reality. The window to act with patience and intention is open right now. If the franchise waits too long to commit to a direction, it may find itself making rushed choices close to the lease expiration. And with Jalen Hurts still in his prime, with a Super Bowl-winning defense, and with the franchise at its most relevant moment in decades, the timing to build something historic has never been more favorable than it is right now. With Lincoln Financial Field's lease expiring in 2032, with virtually the entire league moving toward covered stadiums, and with Philadelphia dreaming of hosting Super Bowls, Final Fours, and the biggest events on the planet, the question for you, Eagles fan, is direct. Do you want to preserve the open-air tradition, with all the raw and authentic atmosphere that comes with it? Or do you want to see the Eagles in a retractable roof stadium, opening the doors for the biggest events in the world to come to Philadelphia? Drop your opinion in the comments. Do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I will be back later to keep you updated with the latest Eagles news.